right, we're good. All right. Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Hello again, if you're on this morning circuit with me. So tonight, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about kind of like a different perspective to a lot of the things that we talk about a lot, like with this business when it comes to building relationships, right? So I kind of want to touch on two things. Like I said, I have a lot of notes here. So if I'm looking down, it's because I'm reading off of my notes because you guys know me. But anyway, so I want to talk about how relationship building, like we talk about it all the time, right? But I want to talk about it a little bit differently. Most days we train on relationship building with, a servant's heart, serving our customers with, them in the forefront of our mind, not us, right? So we want to be leading with our heart when we're serving this opportunity to potential promoters or when we're talking to people who want to use these products. So I want to go a little bit deeper than that because I feel like a lot of times we say, lead from the front, lead with a servant's heart. But I want you to actually take a step back and think like, am I doing this authentically? Like, are you really doing it for that person? You give what you get in this business, obviously, we know that. But having an authentic servant's mindset, it means that you're going to be constantly bringing value, right? And I feel like we just throw this around like, oh, servant's heart, like we all say, it's not for us, it's for them. But at the end of the day, it's not just about, okay, yes, we're doing it for them. Yes, we acknowledge that, but we want to be bringing value to our audience, whether that be our potentials, our customers who are currently ordering from us, or business partners, people who might potentially partner with us in the business. So I hear from people every single day that they're doing IPAs, they're doing interactions, I'm replying to stories, but I'm stuck. I don't know what else to say. The conversation isn't going anywhere. So I want to remind you guys that like what we mean when we say genuine interactions, like I literally mean that I want you to add value to your interactions and your conversations. So whether that's reaching out and like sharing something, like a lot of times people come to me and they're like, wait, I see this girl on my timeline and, she says that she needs, say it's like she has headaches or something, or, she's trying to quit coffee. Let's use that, for example, because that's a big one. Say you see someone on your feed who's like, I'm trying to give up coffee. I'm like super addicted to it. And I, a lot of times have people come to me and they're like, should I say something? And to me, it's just kind of like, well, yes, why wouldn't you want to share it, right? Like, it's not like we are going into her inbox and saying, hey girl, you need to, I saw your post, you need to buy this, like it's this much money, do you want it? We're not saying that. We're bringing value to her and adding value to her life because she put out there that she's looking for something to help her with her coffee addiction. And that you have something on your hands that can add value to her life. So whether that's reaching out and, talking to people and creating genuine relationships because you actually have something in common with them, or if it's sharing something, whether it be a product, a book you have, a podcast. I talked about this morning on my Work With Me Zoom. If you were on it, I talked about, the groups on Facebook and finding local groups within your town to, add yourself into and start networking with those people. How many times people in those groups are asking for recommendations on like restaurants, new places to shop, whatever it may be that they're looking for. You can bring value to their life by simply replying to that and sharing something that that they don't, right? So I want you guys to get creative when it comes to actually building your relationships. How are you bringing value, right? How can I do this? So guys, we have the best resources within this team, like between Hustle and Thrive Tribe, the Limitless, the Tribe Experience page, which if you're not in that and you're one of my new girls, let me know because I have not added to that in a while. But those pages have so much value within them already. There's literally thousands of people in there, and so many of us have contributed, whether that's, a post, a recommendation, going live, a training that one of us did. There's so much value in that, and you're learning that and you're intaking that every day. If your business isn't where you want it to be or not going in that direction, you kind of have to get real with yourself and say, wow, am I taking the resources that I have and am I using that value and adding it to my life? And if you are, it should be a no-brainer, no problem to be able to share what you're learning in other places within your growth here in this community on your social media. So share what you're learning. Share what books you're reading, the things that you're interested in, whether that be, financial growth or mindset. Maybe you're struggling with mental health and you need to get over some limiting beliefs. Like, share what you're learning. You would be surprised how many people are actually watching you, and they might relate to the fact that maybe you're looking up, resources to help you deal with your anxiety. You found this bomb podcast and someone was like going through your stories as they normally do, but they normally don't say anything. They're just like a fly on the wall. Maybe today, because you shared something that added value to their life, they reached out to you and said, wow, that podcast really helped me. Thank you so much for sharing that. Guess what? You just started a relationship with someone. And now not only do they look at you as, somebody who's in this public eye, who's sharing something on social media, obviously them watching your story in the forefront, you may not even know that that's happening. But them doing that, they already see something in you, right? But maybe they haven't reached out yet. But what is that thing that you can bring value to their life? Because maybe there's that one thing that you haven't shared yet with your audience that once they see it from you, a whole new world's going to open up and they're going to look at you in a different light, in a light of you bringing value to their life, right? We always talk about be a light, right? You want to bring positivity to people's life, not negativity. Sharing these things is really going to help people. And it's honestly, when I first started, talking about my anxiety and opening up about panic attacks and things like that, so many people can relate to that, especially in today's society. Like, there's so much uncertainty going on. People want that thing that they can grasp onto and really relate to other people with. So give tips, share a recipe. If you struggle with anxiety or mental health, don't be afraid, especially if you're comfortable going in front of the camera. Do not be afraid to sit down and talk through things, or maybe do a Q&A with people on those subjects that are going to bring value to people's lives, because those are the things that people are going to know you for at the end of the day, right? I remember it was the craziest thing when I first started speaking up about my anxiety and all of that I was going through in my first time here. I remember going to local malls because, like I said, I was adding from groups in local, areas and stuff. I remember going to the mall and people would be like, hey, I know you from Instagram. People are going to start to know who you are and what you're doing is bringing value to their lives. They're going to remember you even more. So that is a huge, huge thing. And then another thing I wanted to talk about is don't be selfish, right? And I don't say that in a sense of don't obviously be a bitch or something, but don't be selfish with your gifts, right? Don't be selfish with the things that you can share and bring value to other people's lives. Don't hold that in. You being afraid and, saying, oh my God, I'm not going to do that because people are going to look at me differently. What you don't realize is that your vulnerabilities and bringing value to other people's lives by sharing them, that's going to put you in a different light to people where they're going to start connecting with you on different levels. And when you hit pain points, especially within this industry, it is so important to know that those are the things that people actually relate to, or pain points. We're human beings. We're naturally dramatic people. We're just, we're craving that connection constantly. And if somebody knows you're going through something, you don't have to have a perfect life. You don't have to be a 200K just to be able to have a decent business. You can bring people into this by the things that you're going through right now. I know last night Trent talked about this on our call. He said, your pain is your power. And that's such a true thing, because it's people are going to value that. You're going to bring value to their lives knowing, number one, that they're not alone in whatever they're going through. And number two, it's going to bring trust into your relationship with them, which that's going to make your bond stronger. And I can't tell you how many times I've talked to people 2-3 months in advance, and I've just had a conversation with them that had nothing to do with business. I genuinely talked to them like I was trying to get to know them. I've built that relationship. Maybe they asked me a question about the business or about anything that I do on social media. And by me not being afraid to share with them, just simply sharing them, I'm not saying go into a scripted word vomit of okay, now I got to get the sale. No, talk to them normal, right? Just answer their question the same way you would if it was your grandma asking you a question. Just be yourself unapologetically. If you trip over your words or you screw up or you say something wrong, that's fine. They're going to find value in the fact that you're treating them like a human. I know I shared this example earlier this morning. One of my most recent business partners who has joined me, we started talking because she simply wanted to know how I didn't have to cold message. She was with a completely other company, but me just saying like, oh girl, like it's amazing. Like I used to have to cold message all the time. Like pretty much we just kind of, share what we do. And I kind of went into the whole little like, synopsis of how we do it. It's just being genuine, right? And I told her that, and 3 months later, she joined me. She was ready to commit on her own decision because of the fact that I brought value to her and I treated her like a human rather than a sale, right? So that's a huge, huge thing. Another thing with that, guys, not only do you have to be so committed, and I know this is something that like, especially when you're kind of struggling financially, I know a lot of us join this business because we're like, we want that financial income, right? We want that stability, or we want the abundance, whatever you're here for. I feel like a lot of times in the forefront, it's so easy to be like, discouraged, or, oh my God, okay, I got to tell her the pack prices now, but I'm afraid she's going to say it's too much money. Like you have to get away from that. And I know it's so much easier said than done, but it's constantly working on your mindset, right? Stop focusing on the numbers. Stop focusing on the paycheck. Don't sit there and be like, oh my God, I'm going to get all tense now because I have to tell her the pack prices. Be confident. You know what value you're bringing, right? You know that this opportunity, when you paid your investment to join Lavelle and start your business here, you got, number one, the products in hand. If that's not a value in itself, I don't know what is, and then on top of that, you got a mentor to work with you one-to-one. And then you got all of the Facebook pages and the training and the weekly calls. You got Trent Shelton last night. Like think of all the things that come with that investment, right? When you put it in that perspective, it's actually like a deal and a half when you're starting this business. And I know a lot of people compare it to like boutiques or starting, brick and mortar stores that, it costs thousands of dollars to do that and to get an LLC and constantly paying. We have a business that not only you pay one time to start, but you get so much with that investment and you never have to pay anything again. We literally get our products for free every month and there's no monthly fees. Like that is almost unheard of in this industry. So you need to put it on that perspective, is that you're not selling her something. You're not convincing her something. You are giving her a deal and a half of value and an amazing opportunity to change her life, right? You have to flip the script. So stop focusing on your paycheck, stop focusing on the numbers. I know we talk about all the time, but it's something that, again, if you want to build that paycheck truly and you want to get to, where some of our leaders are financially, you have to commit to other people and not yourself. We're here to give and to share and to serve. And at the end of the day, when you do that, you are going to get paid, right? You are going to get that paycheck on Tuesday that you're going to be like, wow, like, dang, like this compensation plan. But it comes with first knowing that you're not here for yourself, and that the second that you signed on, you're here for that bigger picture and the value that you're bringing. So that's something I definitely wanted to touch on, because I know it's so easy, when you fall into that trap of I'm struggling and maybe my paycheck's not where I want it to be. And it's like, if you really sat down and took a look at what you're doing every single day and the value that you're bringing, you give what you get, guys. It is so true in every aspect of life. So when you start focusing on what you're giving and the value that comes with that, it's going to change the game entirely. And then another thing I wanted to talk about with this is kind of stop comparing yourself to your sideline sisters, your uplines, who you want to be like. You have something, and I talk about this all the time. You have something that you're here for, right? I truly believe that every single person, every time I do a call, I say this, I believe every single person that's on this call needs to hear this. Like, you're here for a reason. You're aligned here for a reason. And if you want to truly learn and grow your business, you can't do it alone, right? We have this amazing community here. Stop comparing yourself. We are an asset to one another, right? So many companies out there will tell you, oh, block her, or she's not in my downline, or, oh my God, she's not in our company, block her. No. And I know it sounds so weird, but it's like, we are in a network marketing business, right? It's networking. The more people you network with, the better it's going to be. It's just how it is, probability. The more relationships that you cultivate, the more potential you have to bring into this business. So utilize each other, lean on each other. I know whenever my girls come in, I'm doing three-way chats with them constantly. If you have a sideline sister, you guys have been in the business for a while, accountability buddy, do three-way chats. It brings the credibility up so much because people are nervous, right? They want to know that they're coming into a community that's accepting and is going to help them. What's the number one thing potential say to you? I'm scared. You're going to have to hold my hand every step of the way, right? That's something we hear all the time. But we don't even have to, like, we can literally laugh it off and be like, oh, don't worry. Like, you have so much here. We have so much value. So realize the value that we have in each other. I know we get on here and we talk about this community and we all talk about how great it is, but please, please, please do not let pettiness or competition or anything get in the way of your business. You're all here to bring value to each other as well as to the people we're serving with this business and these products. So remember that, and when you keep that in the forefront, there is no room for comparison. There is no room for competition. You're all here for a reason, for a purpose. You're aligned here because you're literally meant to be here and to do something big, whether it be now or in the future. And you have to realize that. There's no competition. So realize the value in each other, in your business resources. Talk about that, especially when you're having conversations with potentials. Don't be afraid to dabble into more than just, oh, here's the comp plan, here's VIPs. Like, tell them about this. Tell them about your experiences. Bring value to them, right? So many of them probably don't have a community, especially right now, guys. Think about it. So many people are stuck in their houses. And honestly, if I didn't have this community, I don't know like how I'd be sane right now. Like, honestly, I talk to so many of my girls every single day, whether it be on Zooms, texting, voice messaging. Like, we have something here, and I relate my chat to it all the time. Like, my team chat, I literally say it's like a sisterhood, because we literally go from talking about the most ratchet things to business and grind. Like, it's all mixed together. But the number one thing is we're bringing value. Sorry, my phone is like dinging on my screen. We're bringing value together, and we need to realize that. So lean on each other, share the value of this business. Don't be afraid to post pictures on your stories of your Zooms, or anything. Like, share things in your group chats, funny things on your story, whatever. Bring that value with the community that we have. What do you know? What can you share with your team, with your customers, your audience, that can bring value to them, right? I love this too. I know that every single one of our leaders, they have no issue if someone who's not even a 4K goes to them and says, hey, can I do a training? Hey, can I do a live in the team page, right? Every single one of us has value. And that's kind of the point that I want to bring here, is that regardless if you are on Instagram or, want to go live in the team page, you have something that you're known for, that you're good at, maybe something that you realize is working for you in your business. Every single one of us has that, right? We are all doing this all the time, whether we're, on a Saturday on our couch for 6 hours straight on our phone, or you're working in between your 9 to 5. Like, we are all learning and growing together. So, don't be afraid to share the things that you're learning with your customers, with your team. Ask your uplines if you want to do a training. If you're on my team and you ever want to do a training, let me know, because I'm all for it. One of my girls, Jenna, she's a 4K. She's running for 12K. She is amazing. And she came to me right before she went 4K, and she was like, hey, I really want to do a training. I know I'm not ranked yet, but can I please do one? And I'm like, you just like made my whole life. Like, yes, please do that. And literally not even a couple weeks after she asked me to do that, she went 4K, and she literally is just killing it. And it's almost like we look at that like, okay, I'm not a 4K yet, or I'm not 12K, so I don't have anything to share, or I'm not good enough. And I want you guys to get that out of your head, because again, every single one of you can bring value. So if I can tell you one thing, it's that, we talk all the time about, arriving. You have to arrive there mentally, right, before you can actually get there. Well, if you're ready to do a training and you want to train, you want to bring value to the team, then show up and do it. Like, that's going to help you grow, and that's going to help you get where you want to be. So please do not be afraid to bring that value to the team. That way, with your customers on your stories, Instagram, TV, talking on your stories, posting, guys, sharing those things that you're learning with your customers or with your, your audience, even if it's like a positivity thing, right? Maybe you're having a hard day, so you dive into a positivity podcast or something like that. Share what you learned in a caption. Share that with your audience, because I guarantee that somebody in your audience is going to come across that and say, wow, I really needed that today. And now you started that whole different perspective with that person and you, because you just brought value to their lives. So please do not be afraid to share. All right, let me see, where am I notes wise? I'm going to take some water. If you guys have any questions at all, pop them in the chat. Okay, so I know I just touched a little bit on this, but you know, every single one of us here, like I said, we can all bring value, and I really want you guys to get over the whole like, I'm not good enough, I'm not ranked, nobody cares, I don't have a big following. Like, if you want to have a big following one day and you want to have a big business and you want to grow to a six-figure leader, like, show up like one on social media too. Like, not even just, you know, in the business and like on your business post, but I mean, seriously, show up, talk to your, you know, your audience. And if you do ever say like, oh my God, I want to go live. I had a girl today, her first time, hey, she went live, and I was like, you know, you just have to tell yourself, no, I'm just, you know, I'm doing it, right? Like, I'm doing it no matter what. So stop the trash talk. As soon as you hear yourself make an excuse, I want you to say, no, I'm doing it, and then gonna go follow that with your action. So I talked a little about that. Sorry, I'm going down my notes. What you give, what you receive. We talked about that. Okay, and then the last couple of things before I switch it over into my next topic was, I just really want you guys to stretch, right? I want you guys to stretch yourself, because I know it's so easy to fall into the whole trap of like, life's hard, I'm not motivated, you know, it's not even sunny outside, so I don't need to take pictures. Like, I want you to be real with yourself and ask yourself if you're being genuine with yourself, right? We say we want you to be genuine with your potentials and your audience, and really just show your social media that you're genuine, but you have to be genuine with yourself as well, and ask yourself if you're really doing everything. You know, you want that paycheck, you want that rank, you want whatever it is in your business, but are you showing up, and are you actually getting on trainings and implementing what you're learning? Are you, you know, going that extra mile to maybe do the uncomfortable, do that voice message, or maybe have that phone call with that potential? The one thing that I have learned, if I can give you guys any advice when it comes to your business, is that anything that you're afraid of or gives you fear or scares the crap out of you, like, you have to do it, because it's going to get you to this new level of like, now you conquered that fear and a whole new world's opened up. And like, yes, there's always going to be things that are going to scare you within business, whether it be trying a new way to talk to potentials, or, you know, going live in your business, because I know that's a big one we're all afraid of at first. But, you know, fear, once you get over that obstacle, you have, yeah, exactly, you literally break through, and you become to a new level where you just showed the universe that you're so capable of crushing hard and scary things, and now you've gotten to that next level. And with the next level of abundance, just like we always say, it does come with new devils, right? You're going to have new obstacles. Jackie, you know, you're going to have new obstacles, but fear equals growth, like, through and through. When you conquer that, you're going to grow. And that's the whole thing here, guys. Like, a lot of my posts when it comes to my content have been very focused at like growing overall, right? Because I know in my personal life, the growth that I have been through in the last year and a half has just been like, I feel like honestly the most I've ever been in my life. Like, my whole world was just changed, and I had to go through some really hard things, but it got me to a whole new level of life. Like, I have never been in the position that I am now. And I'm not, you know, not saying I'm like, you know, balling over here, but like, I can actually pay my bills, and that feels good, right? That's a small win for me. There's so many more things that I am dreaming of, but, you know, getting over the hard and scary things and pushing through and getting through when you don't want to do things, that's where you grow. So I want you guys to remember, everything that scares you in this business, the second you conquer it, you've just unlocked a new level. So bring value to your business with that. Just know right then and there that anything that you do that you're scared of is going to allow you to reach new levels in your business. And then the last thing that I want to touch real quick before I move on is a little bit of a homework thing that I want you guys to work on. So I want you to think of like your 5 top dream promoter potentials, like people that you see on Instagram. We all have them where you follow them. You're like, wow, I'd be BFFs with her. Like, I want you to pick 5 people, and I want you to brainstorm on how you can impact each one of their lives differently. that may be like, hey, what's your Venmo? I'm sending out a $5 Starbucks gift cards or whatever. Maybe you are, going to share with her a book that you read. Maybe she makes a post about something she needs a recommendation on. I want you guys to think of ways that you can not only further your relationship building, but also bring value to their lives. Like, do you have a hobby? Is there something you're interested in? I know I have a lot of girls on my team who are into like tarot readings and stuff like that. Think about how you can bring value to people's lives with the things you're interested in or the things you do every day. Because going that extra mile, it's going to not only one, prove to those people that you actually care about them and you want to be, genuinely have that relationship. Because I'll give you an example. Today, I got a DM from some girl and she, was like, oh my God, your hair is so long or something like that. And I was like, oh, thanks, whatever. I don't even remember what I said back to her, but basically the next thing she said after that was like, oh, if you ever need hair products. And I'm just like, don't worry, I already buy them. Like, sorry, and after that, the conversation was just idle, right? It's because it wasn't genuine. So I really want you to think about ways that you can truly bring value to people's lives. Don't just, find something to say to their picture and hope that it transitions into a conversation. You have to put the action behind your business, right? We can manifest, dream, dream board, vision it, board it up, whatever you want. But if you don't put the action behind it and literally, intentionally bring value to someone's life, it's going to be pretty hard to cultivate an actual relationship where they're going to want to keep coming back for more. Guys, I literally have one of my customers who's bought from me month after month after month, and she's in literally a competing health and wellness network. Like, you build the relationship with people like you would with your best friends, and you share products with them that you love like they're your best friend, and then they start treating you like your friends and not a salesperson, right? We're bringing value. So I want you guys to think of some ways that you can bring value to your dream team, 5 of your dream teams live. Maybe that's, through social media, or maybe you know them in person. Maybe it's like your best friend and she's like, I'm not doing that, right? Bring value, share what you're learning, introduce her. Maybe have your best friend come over and like sit in the background on one of our trainings, right? Listen, you have so much value to give, so use it. Okay, and then the next thing I want to touch on real quick before I wrap this up is something that I feel like a lot of us have gone through, and I kind of just want to touch on it because I feel like it's just something that kind of, everyone, when they start this business and they have this issue, they're kind of just like, okay, it just keeps happening, but they don't really know how to deal with it. So how many of you have had people sign up and they're super pumped and they get in and they're just like, I'm going to do this, and then you never hear from them again, or like they don't work? Yeah, we all have. So I just want, yeah, all the chat's going up. So I just want to let you know that if you're in this for the long run, the team that gets you to 4K, guys, is not the team that's going to get you to 12K. And it's not the team that's going to get you to 40K. And when I say that, I don't mean like you're going to have to literally rebuild your team, but you are going to have people that come in and they don't do crap. Or you're going to have people that come in and they buy a $400 pack and then you never hear from them again. And you're going to be like, well, what the heck? Like, I don't get it, right? It's just the name of the game, guys. You're constantly going to be playing that game of I'm finding new runners. Like I mentioned earlier, you have to be on to the next mindset. If someone comes into this and they're not ready to match your efforts, or they're not showing up for them, or, they're not making any money in their business, but they're also not enrolling and they're complaining about it, you need to realize that you're going to bring value to their lives by taking a step back and say, this isn't serving me as your leader, and I'm here to run with the people who are ready to run, right? So I'm not saying, have an argument with them or start drama or anything, but you simply need to realize where you're putting your energy, right? You need to realize that your business is only going to grow as far as what you let your mind go, right? And if your mind is stuck and focused on, oh my God, like this person was so ready to come in and like, they haven't done anything. Oh my God, they're not going to hit their VIPs. Like, that's going to hold you back, right? And you're here to serve other people. And if you're being held back by that because you are just putting yourself in this perspective of like, that's my job, I have to have them succeed, you have to realize that it's not your job to make sure that the people you bring into this do their job, right? Our jobs as promoters is to what? Promote the products share the products, sell the products, but we can't bring someone into this and, you know, like they not do the work and call themselves a promoter. So at the end of the day, you as their leader have to realize that like not everybody is going to match your effort. Not everybody is going to want this as bad as you. And as much as you want it for them, you can't make them want it that bad. So that whole on to the next mindset is something I've been talking a lot with my girls about, is because, you know, you have to always be looking for your next runner or the next person that you can serve with this business, because the more that you focus on introducing this opportunity to people, make that your goal, right? I know obviously we want to get paid and get that paycheck on Tuesday and build our ranks and stuff by obviously enrolling people into the business. But at the end of the day, it sounds very weird. You cannot make that your focus, right? You can't make the dollar amount your focus. And that on to the next mindset kind of takes a look at like, you know, I know that there's other people out there that I can serve with this. I know that there's an abundance of people. How big is the internet? Everybody has social media, right? So if somebody doesn't want to work or do their job, that has nothing to do with you. And you have to make it your job to make the goal be introduce people to this opportunity, share this opportunity. As many people as you can share it with, as many conversations you can have, as many people you can have in your inbox saying like, hey, what is this? Or can I have information? That's the goal. When you plant the seed, that is literally the work, right? We talked about this before. Having the conversations is the work. The IPAs, that's how you get to the work. So if you want to build a strong business, you cannot make the focus of your business just getting the sale every time, because it's not going to work out like that, or signing new people all the time. But when you have that on to the next mindset, you are constantly looking for new people to introduce to this business so they can make that decision on their own. Because guys, we have a banging comp plan. We have amazing products. Whether that takes them trying a trial pack first or jumping in, you know, after they've made a decision. Like I said it this morning, I have girls who I talk to completely not about the business who come to me months later and they go, okay, I'm ready to do this with you. And it's because I didn't pressure them into it. I simply spoke to them like a human. Constantly being there to educate your audience, sharing that value of what we have our hands on and letting them make that educated decision, you just made a small win. And I say small win because that's the first step in signing somebody, right? We don't cold message. We don't go out there and say, hey girl, you're so pretty, you know, join my business, or do you want to be a product tester? No, we talk to them like a genuine person, because if they actually want the product, they'll come to you. And then you can explain to them what it is, and they can make that decision like a human to say, okay, maybe I'll try it. And they, you know, come to you when they're ready. That through and through is going to build your business so much more authentically than just, you know, getting in people's inboxes and saying something that's so meaningless, or, you know, showing up every day and posting your opportunity post and posting a picture on your feed with a caption that, you know, got bolded pretty words in it, but that's all you're doing, right? You need to do more than that. You need to be bringing value. You need to be showing up every day and sharing what you have your hands on and making your goal to educate with that value, right? So, sorry, my notes completely went away. That's cool. Oh, no, they didn't. So yeah, bringing value and educating, guys, it's gonna impact your business so much more authentically. You're gonna get so many more people in your inbox, and just like Casey said, what you do now is literally going to pay you in 90 days. I started seeing some of my largest checks ever, and they were just about 6 months after I had put in grind. And I'm talking like the days that I started to implement my morning routine of getting up, taking pictures, going through IPAs. You know, I'm actually going to be doing a live in Limitless team page pretty soon about my structure of like how I get my work done in the morning, because I know I've had a lot of questions about that. But, you know, at the end of the day, we can have as many meaningless, idle conversations. You can have as many fake interactions as you want, but that's not going to benefit you, right? If you want to build a business here, you have to be authentic in every area, and you have to literally cultivate that mindset that it's not about you and it's about serving them. And when we say serving them, we don't just mean, you know, having that mindset of, oh, you know I shouldn't be thinking about the money because it should be about them. Like, no, you literally have to realize that, like, if you don't bring value and you don't share with them and then put action to it, like, you're not going to get anywhere, just like Casey said. So that's what I had for you guys tonight. Just being intentional, always focusing on sharing rather than selling. Remember, I always say I don't convince anybody to join my business with me. I share with them the value that it's brought me and the things that it's allowed me to do in my life. I've gotten very vulnerable on social media and showed parts of my story that not a lot of people know about. So bringing that value to someone else's life, you know, whether it scares you or not, it's going to be so big and so beneficial for your business. So remember to be intentional. And that's pretty much all I got for you guys tonight. So I will see y'all in the chat, and I hope you have a great, Thursday? Yay, tomorrow's Friday. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.